Hello, everyone. My name is Anne Corriveau. I'm the Director of International Admissions at Boston University. I'm also a proud IC3 leader, and I serve on the Content and Research Committee. And I'm excited to dig into this sub-theme that I think is critical, and probably the best part of my work is the collaborative ideas. So I'll turn it to my colleague for her introduction.
Hi, everyone. This is Namrata Sharma. I'm the career counselor at the Sanskaar Valley School. I'm also a proud IC3 leader. I serve at the Content and the Research Committee, and I am here with Anne to discuss about one of the sub-themes, that's counseling as a shared responsibility. And, this is a theme, sub-theme, very close to, I think, both of us. We really feel for this, and we wanted to help others through our own perspectives on this theme, that they can take some points from this and then get a really great session proposal for the upcoming IC3 annual conference. So Anne, what do you feel about it?
Sure, I agree. And I think, at this juncture, coming out of COVID, all the things that we've all been dealing with, I think this is such a hot topic and so important to work even more closely together. I think is just critical in all the work we do. And I also think it's really gratifying. Not only is it critical and important for the students, it's satisfying personally. I love working, with others to really help students find the best fit and help them navigate what can be a really confusing and stressful time. So that's awesome. I'll just lead with a little question, if you don't mind, that we can chat about. But how can career counseling be integrated into the school system so that it's not seen as an add-on? When I talk to my counseling colleagues like you, sometimes they feel like they have so many other things to do too. How can it be more integrated? And often it's a misunderstood role at some schools too, I believe.
Yes. So, the first thing that's most important is, creating awareness about the importance of career counseling. So what IC3 is actually doing, that, getting counseling to every school. So, first of all, the awareness needs to be created. The management should be on board. You cannot expect a teacher to teach also and handle that career counseling department, because there are already so many children in the school, and they all need that individual attention towards that. So I think a dedicated career counseling cell or a department will be very helpful. Getting on board the whole school, all the stakeholders, I think the teachers, the students, the parents, management, along with the counselors, should be on board and should have that one mission, that we need to have a proper, the students should get the most benefit, so that, they get into the right career and the right college. So that should be the importance of this, which should be created by having a conversation, creating that awareness. I think that becomes very, very important. Giving importance to career guidance. Sometimes the school only feels this as a burden, that, they have to do it, but they should understand that this is really important. So I think creating awareness and, having that sort of conversation with the stakeholders will be something that can be, that will not be a burden. So this career counseling won't be a burden or an added service in the school, but it will be just a part of, a child's growing up thing in the school.
You said that so well. And I think none of our roles are siloed. We have to rely on each other for the sake of the student. We talk about this at the university side in terms of like retention of students. Like we always say it's everybody's business, and outcomes are sort of everybody's business when it comes to students. They're your business, they're my, it's what everybody in your community, what in my community has to be focused on is the well-being and success of students. I know that sounds sort of like rudimentary, but it's the heart of our work. It's the heart of our work for everybody in our environments, right?
Yes. So I think the student is the center. We are all there to help and support the student. So I think that's there. How do you think that, as a university representative, what part do universities play in this when you talk about counseling as a shared responsibility?
Absolutely. Something is really fresh in my mind. I'm actually I was doing a presentation for parents and students last night. And so I was thinking about our conversation and how, how do I support this work that you're doing that is, as you said, sometimes misunderstood, sometimes not supported. When I did the presentation, I talked to the counseling staff and I said, what messaging, as I speak to your parents, now granted, you and I will say the same things, but sometimes an outside person coming in and saying your words exactly sound different to families. I don't know why, but so I asked the counselors, how can I help demystify? How can I help deflate the anxiety that students and families feel, and support your work and your, I don't know, your deadlines, what are the things I can say to help you? So I think that's one way, being a sounding board for each other. This is not a one-way street. I really appreciate the feedback and the sharing that you do to help inform my work, whether that's about, in my work at a four-year institution, how we receive materials, how do we support, the work of your recommendations, and what is it we need to hear from you, and what do you need to hear from us, so that we can be transparent. I think sometimes university admissions is often confusing, and helping you by being really transparent about what our institutional priorities are and how can we help you guide students best. Because obviously we're working together to find the best fit for students so that they thrive and they go on to be happy, healthy, thriving adults moving forward. So that's it. And I think I mentioned earlier that I'm really grateful for that partnership. I find it incredibly rewarding to come together as in this shared mission. And that's why I do this work, honestly. That's why I came into this work. So.
And I think it's very, very important. So, we as counselors also do talk to the university representatives and, get them connected to the prospective students and the parents so that, that sort of anxiety that you are talking about, it's very, very important that they calm down. They know, so that there's a smooth transition. So we should all be there to, help and support the student in that smooth transition from the school life to that university life, where they are really aware about what university is all about, what all will they get into the university. Sometimes, the child is going away from home. There's a lot of anxiety with the parents. So I think all of us as stakeholders should be participative in that process of helping the student for a smooth transition.
And I so agree with everything you just said, and reminding them, like I said last night at a presentation, I looked at every family and student and I said, I can promise you in my nearly 30 years of doing this work that this will end well for you. That I know. And I've seen it over and over again, right? And so just to kind of let them know that this process is about being authentic. So the more, when we raise that anxiety, then students can't be authentic because they think they have to do a checklist or be something that they're not. And then we lose that basic trust and authenticity that we want for those individuals. And that's a shame. So working together, I think we help students be more who they are.
Yes.
Awesome. All right. Let's see. So what are the ways in which departments like administration, sports and activities of the school play a part in career counseling? So those other areas, how do they help in that role?
So I'll just give you example from our school. What we do is, so we involve sports and activity department in a lot of areas, like, if we are having even a, say, inter-school school competition or something like that, the students will be involved in that with the sports department, with the admin department, in planning, organizing, budgeting, disciplining, everything. So they get they get that experience of managerial work, when it comes to budgeting. They get how finances actually work. We also get the sports department to talk about careers in sports. So sometimes, sports is being taken that, there'll be no scope of career, even though my child is very good in a particular sport. So, sport departments actually sometimes glamorize that career option for them, so that they know that if one is really, really good at it, they can continue playing that sport. There are a lot of sports scholarships available. A lot of universities provide that. So, a student who's very good at a particular sport can also take up something else. When it comes to activities, now liberal arts is something that actually gives you that liberty to take up a major and a minor. So if I'm really inclined towards music, I can take up that sort of combination. I can take up maybe management with music. So, it's very important for the departments to support and, talk to the students about the specific careers, that there are career options in music, how to go about it, what is the process. There are so many of our students who have actually formed their own bands because they were really into music. So when they got into college, they have their own bands. So along with having, maybe studying management, they are actually doing what they really like doing. There are students who are actually studying music at their undergrad level. So it's very important as a school department, the teachers and everybody should play a very important role and talk to the students about it along with the counselors, that this is not the end, that just don't keep it as a hobby and close it, but otherwise just take it up, involve the students in a lot of activities that will give them a very good exposure on how to work out things in the school.
I love that point. And it's just such an example of how you help build scope. This is why we work together. As you're talking, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, that's so great and so fundamental and so important. And sometimes I think we as individuals can get very cylindrical in how we view things and how we view student outcomes. And you just opened this vista and said, but think about all these ways we can open pathways by the people in our communities talking about these different areas. So that's
I
awesome.
think even small exposure in the school
Yes,
system also give them a very good career perspective, internships, shadowing experiences, all
right.
this really adds on to things. Like we involve parent community to provide internship opportunity to our students. So
That
they're
is,
just getting exposed to the careers in whatever way it's possible so that they know whether they want to pursue that career, they don't want to pursue that career. Even elimination can be done.
and just to jump to another topic, because we were talking about this earlier, we've just been highlighting how important this is, bringing stakeholders together. So why are there obstacles for us to do this? What are the things that kind of get in the way for you and I, others, to collaborate and come together in this shared responsibility? What do you think?
I think the biggest would be the time.
I know you and I are both like, absolutely.
So I think that, giving that sort of time with all the stakeholders, with the students, because everybody is so busy, there is so much to do for
I
each
know.
and every stakeholder that, coming together becomes very difficult. However, all of us really try hard, involve a lot of activities in the school curriculum, make it a part of it, but there are a lot of times that it's just not possible. It's not possible to because academics is important, let's not deny the fact that we
Right.
cannot compromise on the academics, but yes, getting that time, I think, would be the biggest obstacle for all of us.
I agree. And, I think when we do have the time, like you say, which it would, might be at the IC3 conference, right? Or whenever we can sort of just connect, even if it's for a short time, making the most of that and getting real and just kind of saying, what's keeping you up at night in the work that we do, and kind of digging in and just sharing where we're at and building empathy, I think. I've learned so much from connecting with you and my colleagues on the other side of the desk, as I learn about the pressures of, the work that they do. And I think likewise, right? Like whether it's a place like I work where the volume is really high, just kind of understanding where we each are at different junctures of the cycle. Like when I'm kicking up my heels, like, yay, woo, we're done. You're thinking, oh, we're just finishing our year, Anne, stop. We have a lot of work to do. So I really appreciate learning that timeline. And, it's just so critical so that we can just both be effective in communication, so that I'm not reaching out to you for guidance in the moment where you're most inundated with work, right? That we can be respectful of that. And only way we learn that is by coming together and having this
Yes.
discussion.
Yes.
Which
So I think, just concluding it, basically, all the stakeholders play a very, very important role. We just can't say it's only the counselor's job, or it's only the management or the teachers or university rep. Even the parents, students, everybody play a major role at every step. And every step becomes very, very crucial, right from, helping a student getting exposed to careers, getting that experience, particularly deciding the career, the course, the university, to, having that smooth transition from school to university. Every step is crucial. And I think all of us play a very, very important role in that. So it has to be a very collaborative effort at every step.
at
What do you
every
feel,
step.
Anne?
I agree completely. And I think, when you say every step, I'm thinking of the important juncture, right? Where you sort of hand your students over to us for that responsibility. And you know your students best. You are with them more than we are until that point. And so the ways that you can share how we can best serve that student, how we can accommodate their needs so that they thrive. Again, this starts early and it keeps going right up through. And then as we communicate with you about students that have been a great fit for us, who are successful, then you're better able to counsel. And this wonderful sort of life cycle of the student thriving and being well, it continues. So I think this dialogue is critical. I think the work that we share is gratifying and it's important. And I'm just so glad that we had a chance to kind of hash out this topic today and
Yes.
and connect.
And I'm just hopeful and so excited that our individual perspectives might give that kick to others, and they get all in for submitting a great session proposal for the annual IC3 conference in August. Just a reminder, everyone, that the deadline for the session proposals is April 15th. So we have only 15 days, less than 15 days. Actually. So, it's important that you all ideate, collaborate, get together, and just come up with a great session proposal. You can find more details on the IC3 movement website. And Anne and I both are hopeful to see you all at the conference.
Looking forward to sharing conversation and connecting in real ways. And I think this topic is so important, especially coming out of COVID when we've moved to hybrid work. What does connecting mean and what does it look like now? I think there's so many rich conversations to be had on this topic. So please, be part of that conversation with us. And thank you again for your time.
Let's have insights from all the community, the university, counselors, school teachers, management. It's going to be a great platform for sharing and networking.
Absolutely. Thanks. Stay well.
Yeah. Take care, everyone. See you.